Righto, I'm fucking about to hit the road again. As usual, I really don't know what's going to happen with this tour. I've got real no plan. Just going to fucking drive, go to this court case and go and see fucking Gary. I love not having a plan. Just fucking, that's what's fucked about life in a lot of ways. You get locked into shit. You know, whether you're a failure or a success, you fucking get locked into shit. And there's no room for detours. And this fucking tour is going to be one massive fucking detour, I hope, into something a bit more interesting than just fucking me being locked into a gig schedule. So thanks for everyone who's fucking supporting me on this. The people who get what I'm about, cheers man, and the people who don't get what I'm about, what the fuck are you doing on my page? I'm in a town called Crookwell, and still just eating fruit, which begs the question, Jimbo, are you feeling crook or well? And I'm feeling well. Famous pies. How come pies are always famous? What about the infamous pie that fucking gave you salmonella and fucking food poisoning? How you going, mate? You're a bit more friendly than the fucking pigs in Burke. Fucking imagine if I had you in the car with me. It'd be a bit of a fucking mess. Probably not any messier than it is. Time for some more fucking mandarins. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Fuck, the truck started rolling. Got to get that handbrake fixed. The mum, dad and the 4 kids running away from the humans. Don't worry, I don't eat meat anymore. You want a lift, mate? I'll go that's a no. Abercrombie Caves. Fuck, I got time. Let's go on a detour. 2 kilometres, no pets. Alright guys, here we are at Bushrangers Springs. Let's go and check it out. It says no pets. You're a mate. Who's at my mate's farm down in Victoria. I'm on my way to Burke for this court case for offensive behaviour, because it's been a long, steep, narrow, winding road to this court case. But on August the 19th, I'm going to fucking hopefully find a magistrate who will listen to my side of the story. Please use extreme care, especially when you're fucking someone up the arse for the first time, which could be me, because the police prosecutor has told me that the maximum jail term for my offence is 6 months. Hopefully I can get him in jail for what he's trying to do to me. Wouldn't that be cool? Just fucking no lawyer and fucking getting cops charged for fucking malicious harassment. Anyway, it's been on my mind for over a year now, this bullshit, and it's gonna fucking come to an end, but not before I fucking see the Abercrombie Caves. Right, we're in the fucking parking area. Before I go, I might have a bit of a fucking drink though. Oh yeah, there we go. You can't see me fucking cock, officer, so fucking relax. Fucking beautiful. It's pretty fucking clear. When you just eat fruit, you piss, man. It tastes fucking, it tastes sweet.
20 altogether.
There, mate, give you cash. And this is where the Bushrangers used to hang out, did they?
Yeah. A cave in this area here.
Which Bushrangers?
The Ribbon Gang was 1830. They were in Bathurst. That's where they were hanging.
No jumping, bouncing or swinging on the bridge. What if you got big tits and like threesomes? Oh, yeah. Gary'd fucking love this bridge. You know that Pink Floyd song, Wish You Were Here? Can you tell a green field from a cold steel rail? Yeah, pretty fucking sure I can, boys. And if you can't, you've probably been smoking too much dope. Alright, down to the caves. Oh yeah, fucking wow. Aren't rivers cool? It's like they come up against a mountain and go, fuck if I'm going to go over it. I'm going to go through the cunt. Here's the fucking tollway, bit of highway robbery. I could probably get over that wall, but I don't mind fucking paying for this shit. Abercrombie Caves, man, I mean, it's fucking not that far from Sydney. I've never fucking heard of it before. There's so much stuff around Australia, which if you've got time when you travel, you're not like fucking flogging yourself to get to somewhere like a gig or friends or destination or work. You can fucking have a good time. This cave's about 500 metres long And yeah, plenty of fresh water to drink as well, although you don't really need any if you're fucking drinking your own piss. Here we have the back end of the cave where I've just come out, and I've just been reading the brochure here, and the story is this guy called Entwistle, who was a guy in the 1830s up around the Bathurst area, and his job with his mate was bringing wool into the Sydney markets. Big fucking ride on dodgy paths and roads into Sydney. Anyway, on their way back, they saw a river just like this, right? And they thought, fuck it, let's strip down and have a fucking swim. Like, what could be more natural than that on a hot day after you've been fucking walking for hours? Anyway, it just happened that the local Bathurst magistrate was walking by a bridge and fucking saw these fucking two guys naked in the river, and they got 50 fucking lashes for it. 50 lashes of a whip shredding into their back because they were swimming in a fucking river naked. Oh, in 1830 on a fucking river where fucking no one really goes except occasionally. So they basically developed a bit of an attitude towards the law, and you know, their attitude is based on, well, fuck, if these people who uphold the law are taking the law into their hands, which they are. I mean, fuck, man, a couple of naked guys, just fucking let them swim, say good day to them. So these bushrangers go, well, fuck it, I'll take the law into my hands if you guys are going to do it. And, you know, they sort of developed a gang, and they found a place like this to hang out, and, you know, eventually the fucking cops and the army come down and fucking... Anyway, Entwistle ended up getting hanged. Now, this type of stuff has always gone on in history. It's you know, and my situation, I've just fucking pissed into a cup while telling a doctor and a publican who were right up for the interview and clearly weren't offended about urine therapy. No one saw me cock or anything. So Heather,
yeah.
It's been really enlightening talking to you. Yeah.
I'm not sure how much you got out of it, but I certainly learned a lot.
Yeah, well, that's it. We're going to educate doctors around the country just to tell everyone to get on the piss, and not this fucking alcoholic piss. Get on the fucking real shit. And police have gone, oh, they've heard about it. Well, a copper was drinking in the pub and heard a conversation, so he's gone, there's a charge. So they've got offensive behaviour, even though the police interviews have said no one else even saw the back of me when I was on the piss. So, and then I've gone, no, I'm not going to accept that. And they've gone, well, fuck it, we'll fucking make you out to be a sex offender. And they've dragged me through fucking police warrants and been locked up twice, and fucking reporting to police every day before court cases. Oh.
Good evening. A comedian facing sex offence charges, Jimbo Barzubi, owner of Gary the Goat, has been charged over a string of jokes made while filming for his Facebook page.
Inspectors at Burke have told Prime 7 News they believe the comedian directly targets them and the courts to advertise his business.
All this shit for a year before I get to the big hearing. And just before it, they dropped the fucking sex charges. So they've taken the law into their own hands and going, well, fuck you, we've got all these resources to really fuck you around. So I haven't got an attitude towards the law. 99% of cops I meet on the road are fucking great. They take photos, they love Gary, and, you know, if they recognise us, and even if they don't, they're fucking cool. But the difference I've got with these bushrangers is those bushrangers didn't have fucking video evidence back then, man. They can't go, well, fuck, man, you couldn't even see me. I was, you know, like, when the law fucking comes down and you beats you up or whatever, I've got video evidence, and I'm going into this court case with video evidence of what I did. The two people who I had the interview with weren't offended, yet when police interviewed them, they've rolled over and gone, oh, yeah, we're really offended. It was like, mate, magistrate, look at the video. They're not offended. Police records say no one else saw the back of me when I was doing a piss. So it's going to be fucking interesting, and yeah, I just want to fucking just say it's not good to fucking take on the law with force. I don't think Eureka Stockades, all the fucking rebellions, they've got big weapons around the wall, the rule of law, but I think you can take the law on at its own game and just go, here's the evidence. And I've got faith that the magistrate in Burke is going to realise that, fuck, man, I can't fucking bust this guy, and this is a clear case of police harassment. But you never know. The law is an ass, not a goat. So it doesn't really make sense a lot of the times, and we'll see what happens next Friday. In the meantime, I've, you know, thanked the cops for fucking doing all this to me, because if you hadn't done it, I probably wouldn't end up here in a fucking really fucking beautiful spot. And what I'm going to do now to celebrate is fucking get naked.